Daily Compliance News for October 30, 2025. The end of the Banking Nerd Edition. This is Tom Fox, and I'd like to welcome you to the Daily Compliance News. The Daily Compliance News is the only daily podcast which curates 4 top compliance, ethics, and/or corruption stories for your listening and viewing pleasure if you're watching this on YouTube. Remember when to get a position at a investment bank required you to be a true nerd or quant and able to do calculations literally in your head? Well, looks like that's changing with the advent of AI, as bankers are now being hired to write or rather train artificial intelligence that build models that define junior banking. So the story over the past 2 decades in investment banking was revenge of the nerds, and now it may be the end of the nerds. So if you're a nerd, you may be training AI rather than using it going forward. Next up, from Ukrinform, a first-time contributor to the Daily Compliance News, although it was founded over 100 years ago. It reports that Ukraine has received international recognition in its fight against corruption. And the deputy head of the office has been notified of the ratification of the OECD convention and that Ukraine will become a full member of the OECD. So this is a very significant and important step for Ukraine in their overall fight against corruption. Next up, from Reuters, Argentina maintains its position in the news as a U.S. appeals court will consider whether Argentina must pay investors for the Argentinian appropriation of the state-owned, or what became the state-owned oil company YPF over a decade ago. Investors in that endeavor sued and were awarded $16.1 billion for the government's action. And this, of course, could be a key component of Argentines' attempt to recoup or buffer their economy, particularly with its gift from Donald Trump. And our final story comes to us from Bloomberg, which has a great article on the Global Task Force, or the Financial Action Task Force, which is the worldwide task force that helps or goes after dirty money. And for those who are not familiar with this organization, I would commend literally the entire article, as the world is awash in dirty money and criminals are constantly finding new ways. So what is FATF? It's an intergovernmental organization that sets standards to try to curb money laundering. It developed or pioneered the Know Your Customer rules, and it set guidelines for national laws and how to manage account data. It's unclear if the United States will stay on its good side with the administration's revocation of the Corporate Registration Act passed under the first Trump administration. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.